I invested in coaching for $112,673.96, and today's video, I'm going to share with you everything to learn about self-esteem and self-confidence. Hi guys, this is Valentin, and on this channel I share all the gold nuggets that I learned from investing over $100,000 in myself and working with more than 800 people. Subscribe and you'll see how. The past 3 videos have been depressing, bro. Talking about depression, how to solve it, what are the signs, how to prevent it. Well, finally, let's talk about something more positive. In this video, we're going to talk about self-confidence and self-esteem. So the first thing, let's talk about self-confidence. And the biggest thing to learn about self-confidence here is that it doesn't exist. It's an illusion. Self-confidence is just a result that comes from self-esteem. And self-esteem comes from competence and your own sense of worth. What do you think you are worth? What's your own value? Most people chase self-confidence, but in fact, it's just an illusion. It's just a result of the image that you have about yourself. And it's just a result of the competence that you have and how secure and how aligned you are with what you can do, what you can achieve. So now that we cleared that out of the way, now we can talk about self-esteem. And self-esteem, again, is the sense of worth that you have, your own self-image. Most of us, we destroy it. And we destroy it by 3 things. And the first one is comparing yourself. And this was a huge one for me, is a huge one for the clients that I see. And especially in this social media world and this online business world, you're going to see a bunch of people and probably you're going to compare yourself a lot with people that come from the same background as you, that have achieved more results than you have achieved. And the biggest key here is to not understand, but realize. See with your own eyes, see with yourself that comparison, you can't compare it. Like, to compare 2 same people, you would have to take 2 exact same people that came from the same exact 2 backgrounds, that from the 2 exact same families, with the 2 exact same childhood experiences, with the 2 exact same education, and put them to work and see which one produces more results. And the truth is, like, the only thing you can compare yourself to, and the only person you could compare yourself to, is yourself, your old self. And the biggest trap is here, when we compare ourselves with somebody, we take an aspect of somebody's life that we appreciate, and we think his life is better than ours. And we put him on a pedestal, or we put that character trait or that thing that he has on a pedestal. Maybe like it's his money, maybe it's his network, maybe it's his body, maybe it's his how handsome or beautiful she is, maybe it's his job. But in any case, when you compare yourself with what somebody has, you just take one aspect of that person's life without knowing everything, without knowing what he's going through and what he's actually living deep inside him, and you put him on the pedestal and you judge yourself and you think that you're less than him. When you just take one aspect of somebody's life and completely omitting all the other aspects. And that's a huge mistake. And that completely shatters self-esteem. Because all of a sudden you just see all of these people around you that have better lives than you, when actually they might have just some better aspects of their lives than you. And even if they do, you can't compare yourself with them because you don't have the same life experiences. You haven't lived the same things. And even if you do compare yourself, like it doesn't stand because you guys are not the same. And there's no way you're going to have the same 2 results. The only person you can compare yourself to is just your own self, because you and your old self have the same background, the same childhood, the same past experiences. So you can compare only with your own self. And the big shift is here. The moment you start focusing on who I was yesterday and how could I improve just a little bit today, and you stop focusing on all the other people and all their other aspects, and you stop focusing on what they have better or more than you, that's when your life will truly, deeply, profoundly change. And that's exactly where your self-esteem will change, and that's where you gain more confidence. And from that, big bonus here, you're gonna gain momentum, because the more you focus on yourself and you stop looking at others and you stop comparing yourself to others, the more you're gonna create and build that action momentum that will help you achieve more, do more, and be more. So that's the first trap. Second trap here is judging yourself. And this comes a little bit back to comparing yourself. But judging yourself is mainly having an image of yourself or what you should look like or what you should do or how you should be acting. That's, again, biased by what you see in the exterior, but your comparison with the others. And you see somebody and you think like, that's better, so I want to be like him. So when you're not like him, or you can't be, or you can't do like him, you're gonna judge yourself. And most of the time when we judge ourselves, it's just a pre-assumption of what we think we should look, act, or be like. And we compare ourselves with an ideal version that we'd like to be, but that we're not. And that shatters self-esteem even more, because you just compare who you are today and nobody's perfect, and you know that you're not perfect, you know your flaws, but most of the time you don't want to see them. And you compare yourself with the perfect, amazing version that you'd like to be. And that's a huge freaking problem, because you only focus on the difference. You only focus on the space between the two. You only focus on what's not working, instead of focusing again on building yourself up brick by brick every single day and achieving eventually that self version of yourself. And now the last thing that completely shatters self-esteem is negative self-talk, which mainly is just comparing yourself, judging yourself, and then just bitching yourself down into the rabbit hole, thinking and talking to you about how bad you are, how not enough you are, and how just a horrible person you are. And that completely destroys your self-esteem. Results come from action. Actions come from thoughts. And the more thoughts you have about you not being enough, you being negative, you not being the version that you'd like to be, the more you're gonna get the results that correspond with it, which will come and reinforce the image that you have about yourself and the bad self-esteem. And you're into this loop, this downward spiral, where you compare yourself, and once you compare yourself, you judge yourself, and once you judge yourself, you have this negative talk about yourself, and this destroys your self-esteem, which makes you compare yourself even more. And you go down this rabbit hole, and it's in fucking hell. Now, all right, let's put all this negative stuff behind and let's talk about solution. How the fuck do we fix this? And there's mainly two routes about this. You have like the external route and the internal route, and we're gonna talk about both. The external route is mainly external validation and external results that will come reinforce and recreate a new image about yourself, and also exercises. Internal, it's deep trauma work. It's changing your own perception deeply by yourself of who you are, so that you emanate this energy later. So let's talk about, first of all, external. And these are mainly like two ways. First of all, you do stuff that you know they're gonna work. And this comes back a little bit to confidence comes from competence. You know it's gonna work, you know you're gonna get some result from it, you know that the exterior, the other people, the environment is gonna validate you, and that will reinforce and give you like a shoot of confidence for a short term. And the more you do that, the more you can actually reinforce the belief that you are that person. This works actually, long term. It's not the best way, but it works. And this is the simplest way to actually go about it and start working on this today. And I'm gonna give you an exercise, and it's pretty simple, but it's making lists. Making lists about impossible achievements that you did in the past. Like 15 moments where you achieved something that was impossible for yourself. In a moment where you thought like, there's no way I'm gonna make this happen, and you actually made it happen. And we all have these type of moments. We all have this type of like glory hero moments. And you have these too. And it's just like looking and digging into your past and looking for this gold, and looking for, okay, when I was this hero. And you're gonna see that you're not just the loser that your little voice tells yourself that you are, you're also the hero. And you gotta see that. Now, the second thing is you can make lists about moments where you're true to yourself, where you set boundaries, where you respected yourself, or maybe you refused somebody. Moments where you are actually very true to yourself. So you can see that you actually have boundaries. You can see that you actually respect yourself and that you have some worth. Because if you're gonna see that you respected yourself in the past, you're gonna realize that you had some worth and you still have some worth. So it's just making lists. What lists? Lists that will make you feel better and that will make you see that you're not just a bad version of yourself, but you're also a good version of yourself. And that's gonna give you like a kick and the boost to go further. Now, let's talk about internal work. And internal work is seeing down these demons. It's just like that little voice that you have behind your head that always tells you, hey, you're not good enough, or hey, you're not beautiful enough, or you're not gonna make it, or you're gonna be rejected, you're gonna be abandoned, or you're gonna fail, or you're not strong enough. That little voice that always comes down and that's never shutting down, digging down to that. And what's digging down is just feeling. And when that voice pops up, it's just connecting with your body and just feeling, okay, what do I feel here? And why do I feel it? And it's just going down the rabbit hole and the trails of why, so you can see what's behind it. And that's the work that I do mainly with my clients. And by the way, if you're interested in this, comment down below the video and I'll shoot a free meditation so you can start this work by yourself for free at home. Now guys, with that being said, subscribe to this channel so you can get the next gold nuggets. This was Valentin, and see you in the next video. Bye-bye.